It has also become the moment where James makes me laugh so hard that I sometimes get a text message from my wife saying, "You're being too loud." James, if you would please, the Chronicle.
Prepare to actually start using the new phone because you're going to get a text. And it's part of our group text from earlier.
Oh, shit. Did you see what she called me when I put my avatar in there? Go to the group chat. Look to it right now.
No, that's your and my group chat. Pulled the wrong one.
No.
Timu Pitbull?
There. And I am going to give you someone we spoke about earlier. And your first name in tonight's Wisey Translator is UConn 12-time national championship head coach, Geno Auriemma.
We throw the term GOAT around a lot, and there's some guys that actually deserve it. Am I really off my rocker by saying he might be the greatest basketball coach in the history of the game, even more than Auerbach, Phil Jackson, and anybody else out there? Because he's won more titles than any of them. He's got more victories, even at a collegiate level, and he's been doing it for 40 years and shows absolutely no signs of stopping.
I would agree with you only because Geno built that program from nothing. And that's saying more than what those other guys did.
Keep in mind, when he took over that program, he was 31 years old. Michael, your first name in the Wisey Translator tonight, he also called it a career after a very successful 13 NFL seasons. Uh, he's he spent a lot of his career down in your current neck of the woods. Could have been a former Brown at one point. Michael, your name is Julio Jones.
Best wide receiver to never win a title. I think that's the best way I can label him. And that's on Dan Quinn and his defense. Uh, Julio Jones was dominant. Dominant. And he was really the first big body guy that could run like that. So yeah, tip of the cap to Julio Jones too. He's going to Canton. He won't be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's going to Canton.
I mean, he might be. He might not be. He certainly won't be unanimous. But for the numbers that he put up, the Pro Bowls that he made, the first or second team All NFLs, and he's a major part where they were one stupid quarter away from bringing Atlanta their first ever NFL World Championship.
Very true. So James, your second name in tonight's Wisey Translator, and again, I'm going to go there with someone who we've spoken about at length tonight. Your second name is now all-time leading goal scorer, Alexander Ovechkin.
He is hands down the greatest I've ever seen in my lifetime because when Gretzky broke in '79, I was 1 year old. I hadn't started watching hockey completely. The fact that he's been this good for this long, because remember when Gretzky was putting up all those numbers, you know, Gretzky's got, I want to say, 3 or 4 60-goal years where Ovechkin's only got 1. But it's also in a period where there wasn't as much curve on the sticks. Some players were even using flat sticks. The technology hadn't advanced. The players were a little bit slower. The goaltenders were a lot more stand up. Whereas now that they're hybrid, they could be stand up, they could be butterfly. The pads were a lot larger. They were a lot heavier. Goaltenders didn't move around nearly as well. They weren't as flexible. Back then, there's a lot of joking if you watch the Sportsnet CA YouTube channel, especially the bar down guys. They actually said because Gretzky didn't actually know how to lift the puck during that era. Ovechkin would do it with power. He did it with finesse. He bodies guys. He was, up until Connor McDavid broke on the scene, he actually would win fastest skater at the All-Star competition most years. I've got no argument in saying that Connor McDavid is the best player I've seen in the game now, but in my personal lifetime, Alex Ovechkin might be the greatest player I've ever seen. And he deserved all the flowers that everyone's throwing at him today. He wishes that he had the victory. He got the record, and now he can actually focus in on getting that second Stanley Cup, although it's getting a little bit tougher because now my Blues winning streak is up to 12.
Nice.
So, Michael, I'm going to go a little off the board here and throw a name that you might not be 90% familiar with, but there's fallout with this. Your second name in tonight's Wisey Translator is somebody who's declaring for the draft, but not in the WNBA. I'm talking the NBA, and I'm talking now Maryland star who decided not to follow his Benedict Arnold head coach to Villanova, and that's projected lottery pick Derik Queen.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jim. Lottery picks aren't doing it for me anymore. Watching the Cavs, I have seen that you cannot build a team through just lottery picks. So lottery picks just don't do it for me anymore. I didn't watch him play much. I think I caught the one Ohio State-Maryland game, so I saw him play a little bit. He didn't impress me. I'm shocked he didn't follow his coach to Villanova. I also think it's coming out of here early.
That's going up in about 20 minutes.
That's that's the sports note. We'll get into mine another time. Yeah, lottery pick with the limited amount of college basketball I watch this year, I can't fully give you a breakdown of this guy. But if he didn't follow his coach and decided to go to the NBA, more power to him. Fuck that coach.